It's hard to see on maps. Puerto Rico's location has probably the most influence on our history. Puerto Rico is a victim of its geography. It puts us in a position of both advantage and vulnerability. Cocaine is a big deal here in Cadiz. Puerto Rico is the prime bridge between the main producers, Colombia and Venezuela, and the largest consumer market, the United States. We speak the same language as South America, so it makes business transactions easier. We're a territory of the United States, hence, once the product arrives in Puerto Rico, it's essentially already in the United States. Beautiful beaches and numerous marinas justify the constant influx of boats. It's easy to conceal drug trafficking among recreational trips. You're seeking permanent residency in the United States and you're a professional in the country. Some dock at a marina but don't unload the drugs right away. With undercover DEA agents, we documented some moves. They sail on confiscated boats without labels to carry out their intelligence work on drug traffickers. This is how a drug transfer begins in the middle of the sea. And a code, which in this case was Pelican. Sometimes in the prior meeting, where an advance payment is made, they tear a bill in half. Each crew must bring their piece to the meetup. For the purposes of the report, we sped up the footage as we listened to the brief transaction exchange. From the time they bonded until they blessed themselves, a minute and a half passed. A minute and a half passed. Precisely seeing two boats then leaving in opposite directions already raises a red flag for the authorities. And in addition, in this type of transaction, as you saw, which is done very quickly, there's a transfer of drugs but no money. As the Roosters used to say, it's a loyalty transaction here, there's no money. You often see that more on the street, hence the numerous shootings, because that's where they anticipate money. At sea, trust is already established. Trust that gets tested every day throughout Puerto Rico. Yes, this happens 1, 2, or 3 times a day. In the era of sophisticated radars and artificial intelligence, the methods used to transport coca across the Caribbean seem archaic from the Pablo Escobar era. When you step away from technology and go back to basics, there's no trace. According to the DEA, this product increases its value by 80 times or more, from its point of origin to its final destination. For example, a kilo of cocaine in a laboratory in Cúcuta, Colombia, which borders Venezuela, should cost $500. Once in Puerto Rico, the price can rise to $25,000. 20% is allocated for local distribution. When the rest reaches the continental United States, the value goes up to $40,000, and it continues like that. In Australia, a kilo is worth $85,000. The DEA quantifies in kilos, although in maritime operations there prevail the fardos. Each of these contains 30 kilos, equivalent to 66 pounds, and valued at nearly $1 million in the street. This multi-billion-dollar market heavily relies on Yola-type boats. They call them Panga or Eduardono due to the well-known Venezuelan brand. Lightweight and shallow draft, they navigate swiftly near reefs and coastlines. The moment he told us this, we saw one with 2 men. And aboard, perhaps they approached to confirm who we were, as they also gather intelligence. And knowing that we wouldn't follow them, they entered through the mouth of the Fajardo River. He gave them jobs, they built engines, and they succeeded. We don't know the reason, but those transporting drugs are waited for on the bank to unload.